One of the things all of us coaches and parents and players have all heard on the soccer field is the phrase spread out, give each other space. Especially working with young kids, this is probably one of the most difficult things to get across in the game is how to use space on the field, how to move and get into areas where you're not crowding your teammates, that help your team possess and move the ball forward and create scoring chances. And as coaches, often, and I'm one of them as well, and I do it all the time, our common phrase is spread out. Don't be on top of each other. You're bunching up. There's hundreds of things coaches say, but often we are just telling kids to spread out. One phrase that I've heard coaches use, which I think is much better, and it gets to the point of what we're really trying to get the kids to think about, and the point of them spreading out is I've heard coaches start saying to players, "Where do you want to get the ball?" It's a great question to ask your team, ask individual players to help them use space better and to spread out like we want them to do and not be right on top of each other. When you ask that question, where do you want the ball? Then they don't just spread out and move away from each other because obviously, to them, yeah, you're right. I don't want to get the ball 2 feet from the player who has it. I don't want to be right on top of them when I get it. Where do I want to get the ball? I want to get it where I'm going to have space and time. I want to get it where I can play a good pass to the next teammate, or I can get it where I can score, or I want to get it in an area where I have less chance of losing it. And then that gets players thinking the right way. Start thinking of not just spreading out, which even when we say that, and this is, I'm sure, is a frustration for a lot of coaches out there, they'll spread out, but they still are not in any space where they actually can get the ball from the player who has it. So they've done what we've asked. They've spread away from each other, but they're really not in good space. They're not finding those passing lanes and channels between defenders to get the ball. So if you're struggling with this with your team and your players, as a coach, try that phrase and try to ask that question to your players over and over again to help them understand and start thinking about a better way how they're moving away and off the ball. Ask them, where do you want to get it? Where do you want to get it to be able to do X or able to do Y? And why do you want to get the ball there? And why do you want to do that? It starts, again, making players not just think about spreading out, which is not really what we want. Spreading out as a result of them being in a good position to be able to get the ball and build as a team. So when you ask that question, where do you want the ball? I think it refocuses the player, and really what we're trying to get them to do is try to find good space, dangerous space to receive the ball, help their teammates out, to be able to support the team, to bring the ball forward and create scoring chances.